Streamed, recording, minimize OBS, pull up Chrome. Alright, hello. We're live. It is 2 o'clock somewhere. That somewhere is not here.
Definitely not. Although we are closer than we have been in the past.
Yeah, it is. Where it is 2 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the Solomon Islands.
Fancy. I don't
Yeah,
think we've...
just off the coast of Australia. A little northeast, if you will. Yeah, so we kind of got just a smaller show. We're talking about ourselves again because we can talk about that for enough time and we know enough information about it also.
Hey, we don't have to do any deep dive research into ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we'll leave that to the psychologists. Also, we're very tired, so this is just going to be kind of relaxed. If you're listening on YouTube, I'd recommend going into your settings. Just click the little gear icon. Put your playback speed at probably about 1.5. It speeds it up.
Yeah, keep our voices at the speed that they should be, not at the speed that they currently are.
Yeah, and then, the longer pauses become much shorter, which I'd recommend. We actually have a small slideshow to go along with today's topic. Today's topic, we're talking about...
tattoos,
specifically the ones that we have,
ones that we want in the future, and just sort of why we like them.
Yeah, we should probably start with why.
Yeah, that would probably be better.
I'll let you take the lead because my tattoos first. So you can tell me why you like tattoos.
I like them. First and foremost, I just think they're cool.
I think
they look cool. It's a wonderful art form because just seeing what artists can do, transforming their art pieces onto people's bodies, it can be just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I agree.
And I also like the strong personal meaning that they can have to people. And then sort of just the crazy amount of customizability. Like you can get custom pieces. You could just pull a picture off the internet as long as it's not copyrighted, or if it's copyrighted, if you go to the right back alley tattoo artist.
Most of them probably wouldn't check anyways.
Yeah. But I think it's a beautiful art form, and I thoroughly enjoy.
Yeah. All right, I'll talk about why I like them. I honestly, there's no really reason whether you do or you don't like tattoos. It's just kind of a personal preference. So a lot of people describe that your body is a temple, so you shouldn't put that, but
no, it is a temple, and you should decorate it the way that you want.
And that's actually there's a couple that I know that they kind of have tattoos very personally. Oh my goodness, we are famous. I'm sorry, I just looked at our chat right now, so I see everyone. So sorry, I've got a little off topic. But yeah, I think the way that it can frame a body, especially on people like me, I kind of got like a lanky figure, as in I'm really skinny everywhere. So just it kind of adds almost a depth to my frame, if you will, and it can kind of accentuate certain aspects of not only my personality but also my body. So I guess that's kind of what attracts me to the idea of tattoos.
Do you want to get into what you have so far?
Oh, actually, hang on. We got a question. So I think, because that would be, where would you not/never get a tattoo if you have a spot? I'm assuming you mean on the body and not like a location of a tattoo artist.
Yeah, on the body, buddy.
I mean, hey, you never know.
And apparently it's not illegal to get copyrighted images tattooed on you.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be, because how are you, because you're not really using it for a personal profit.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
As we said before, we are incredibly tired.
Yeah,
I know.
Stream we'll just spend 20 minutes on copyright laws.
Or we're not. Probably not.
What are you talking about?
Okay, back to the question.
Okay, where would you never get a tattoo if you have a spot?
I would never get one on my face.
I probably wouldn't get
or
one
neck. Face or neck.
Oh, okay. Okay. Reasons behind it? I'll let you go into that.
Reasons. I'd say that I personally just don't think they look good.
Yeah.
There are a few neck tattoos that go up from like shoulder pieces that are okay.
Sure.
But when it's just on the neck or just on the face, I think it looks tacky. They just don't turn out very good. I would never ever get one on my face or neck.
Okay. Mine also the face, just because that's really unappealing to me, just in general. To I don't know how to articulate it, but like I personally don't like. There's like a lot of artists out there, especially like rap artists, that do have face tattoos,
and they're disgusting.
Well, some of them are for sure. Like Post Malone's like barbed wire tattoo across his forehead. Not a fan. Neither am I with his Always Tired.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got one more that I can't remember, but I don't think it's really awful looking. Anyway, yeah, so just the face. I am not opposed to a neck tattoo, but it would be either when I am so financially stable that I'm literally having to throw money around.
Yeah, that it's okay if you get fired from your job because you walk in with a neck tattoo.
Yeah, and like, it's just like, if people just like give me weird looks, it's just like, why do I care? I'm stacked.
Yeah.
But like, it wouldn't be like a neck piece. It would just be like probably something small, just like a goldfish, just chilling on my neck. Like, why not? Like, I mean, if I had to pick a neck tattoo,
if you had the money
goldfish.
And you couldn't care less, go ahead. And if you do want them, be you.
Yeah,
that's your choice. We just personally, wouldn't do it on us.
Yeah, for sure. Another place that I think it's a cool place to put it, but I'd never do it. The palm. That is such a sensitive area.
I have heard that not only is it super sensitive, that because you use it so much, they fade super fast.
Actually, there's a show called Ink Master, and that was actually one of their challenges, is they actually had to do palm tattoos. So there's actually a way to do it. It's like you have to like push it past a certain layer of the skin.
It's just a deeper tattoo.
Yeah, it's like a deeper tattoo, but you can't go either. Like, you can't go too far or other.
Yeah, it's a balancing act.
It's a much more like precise, but you have to do it like thicker with the palm.
See, I do like back of the hand tattoos.
I do too. I'm not.
Certain ones are not good, but if it's done right, they can look very interesting.
I agree. I'm just gonna go with Post Malone again because I'm pretty sure he's the one with the lion. Okay.
I can neither confirm.
I'm just not gonna do it. I'm pretty sure a famous artist of some kind, has a lion tattoo on the back of their hand that actually looks pretty nice. And I also I'm not a big fan of all the necessarily the skulls on the hands. Like, a lot of them look good, but a lot of them also don't. I think the roses usually always turn out.
So I think roses look really good on the forearm.
I think I like it on the forearm too, but the ones where it just takes up the back of your hand just entirely, I think those ones usually look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I want again, unless if I'm completely financially stable, or maybe that'll be my retirement tattoo, is putting one on my hand, the back of my hand.
Retirement tattoo, full chest piece.
You know what? Why not, right?
Once your skin is all stretchy and leathery, just bring in some clamps, pull it taut, tattoo it up.
Please stop talking. Please stop talking. I'd rather have you just be silent for the next two minutes than to talk about whatever you're about to go into. Besides, I'm going to retire at
103?
Yeah, 90. I don't know. But my skin will be tight. I'll just keep using anti-aging cream. Anyway, we'll talk about. I'm gonna go into the tattoo that I have on screen right now. This is my first tattoo. I got it when I was 17 with my parents' consent. So that's legal.
Barely.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell the story of it then. So my brother and I, we were gonna get matching tattoos to symbolize that we are related.
You are?
Yeah, can you believe it?
No.
We wanted to get a tattoo to commemorate that because, like, truly Sawyer's my brother, by the way. Sawyer and I are kind of each other's best friends. Like, you know, we've quite literally spent the most time together, and we've shared a room for, you know, like, just about 18 years total. So we were talking about getting either like matching tattoos or brother tattoos for the longest time, and we were like bouncing back and forth with ideas, and then eventually we got onto this idea that we should both get moons, because he and I had a running joke that we were nocturnal twins. Because, like, when people met us together, a lot of the times they would assume we were twins. So they're like, are you twins? And we just go like, yeah, we're nocturnal twins. We're only twins during the nighttime. Yeah. So it's just like a goofy little joke. So we were just like, yeah, let's both get moons. And then, like, you know, we talked about it a little bit more. And then Sawyer decided, well, how about I do the sun and then you do the moon? So it's like, you know, a little bit more symbolic of a difference. And I was just like, yeah, all right, sure. I don't got any problem with that. Those are our tattoos in a side-by-side comparison. Sawyer's is on the left. Mine is on the right, the sun and the moon. So that's what we ended up doing. So on the day that we got the tattoo, we actually had no intention of getting the tattoo that day. We were just looking at tattoo shops and tattoo artists of where we would get it. And then we walked into Lucky Eagle Tattoo, which isn't in business anymore. But, well, I don't know if I think they just moved, rather. I think they're
no longer where they were.
Yeah, they're in a different spot. We just, like, walked in. We, you know, asked them about their prices and then yada, 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 how their schedule would work. And then the artist was like, well, I'm free in about an hour if you guys want. And then, like, Sarah and I just, like, looked at each other and we were just like, hold on one second. And then we just, you know, ran, because I was, you know, 17 at the time. I had to get my parents' consent. So we ran to my mom's shop, and then we were talking to her about it, and she was just like, what tattoos right now? And we're just like, yeah, why not? And she was just like, all right, if that's what you truly want to do right now, then, you know, kind of go for it. So we ended up getting tattoos that day, and that was my first tattoo. All right, that's going to wrap up my first tattoo. We do have another question.
So do you think people have a prejudice more against tattoos in general, like any kind of tattoos, or do you think people get subjective on what the tattoo consists of?
Okay. So personally, what I think, prejudice more against tattoos in general, like any kind, I say people get a little bit more stingy about visible tattoos.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
If people consider it informal to have a tattoo that you can see.
Yeah. So, like, the advice that my mom gave me is, like, for their first couple of tattoos, get it in a place that you don't see it all the time. That's why mine's, like, above my
something
elbow.
Concealable with either a long sleeve, a short sleeve.
Yeah. Or it's, like, on your back, or, like, somewhere where you, like, kind of have to, like, bend in some way to be able to see it.
Yeah.
So, like, even if you do end up regretting it, which, you know, most of the time you don't, but,
on the odd chance that you end up doing, say you got something and then your personality changes through time.
Yeah.
If it's not somewhere you're constantly seeing, or not somewhere it's constantly reminding you of something you did, then, you know, the first few that you get, just getting them
in places that you can't see them, or getting them kind of, like, smaller, and then, like, if it means a lot to you, definitely, like, wait on it. I'd say, like, the more you wait on the meaningful tattoos, the better. Because, like, you're just going to keep messing with the idea, and then eventually you're going to get the one that you want to represent the meaning you're trying to get. But that's not the question. The question is about prejudice.
So I definitely visible versus non-visible, but for the ones that are visible, I'd say the ones that have more graphic content definitely get judged a lot more harshly than ones that are, say, like, sketches or designs or nature pieces. Like those are definitely considered in a whole different light than like gang tattoos or tattoos of
like skulls.
Yeah, and anything that's sort of either darker or quote unquote appropriate or inappropriate.
Yeah.
Definitely get judged a lot more harsh than those that aren't.
Yeah, and then also I would say, especially ones that like the traditional places that would disqualify you from jobs. So you've been told your entire life. So face, neck, hands,
or just arms in general. Like if you move your arm, they see tattoos poking out.
Yeah,
like they're definitely getting better on that.
Yeah, like,
but it's still
societal norms are definitely changing, especially around like tattoos. Because like, I can't remember the statistic, but I did in high school. I actually did a project about tattoos, and I think it's about like, it used to be back in like the 80s, it was like 1 in 20 people did, and then just like since 2010, it's like 1 in 5. It's just like, I can't remember if that's the correct statistic, but it's
increasing.
It's definitely increasing, and like same thing with the norms is like, a lot more people have it, and then like a lot more people are in the mindset that like visible tattoos don't disqualify you from certain aspects of life.
Yeah, definitely.
How about we go with that wording?
So I hope that answered your question.
And if not, whoops.
Sorry, we tried our best.
Yeah.
You want to get on to your second tattoo?
All right, my second tattoo. This was the concept when I had this tattoo. So I was traveling, and I was in London at the time, London, England, and this was a scheduled trip. We went through like some company who like plots out everything. And it's like, like, so you get a little bit of free time, but like usually you have a pretty tight schedule. But, since we were there, I was talking to my trip advisor, and I was like, is there a possibility, since we might have free time, that I could be getting the tattoo on this trip? And she said, I highly doubt it. However, if I get, approval from your mom and we have time to do it, then maybe. And good graces came in, and we actually did end up time.
The stars aligned.
The stars aligned. Fashion. It, the timing was just right. And so I texted one of my friends. His name is Bailey. He's a phenomenal artist.
Oh,
yeah, beautiful,
fantastic.
You've seen his works.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so beautiful, and not to mention he is one of the most funny people I've ever met in my entire life. Anyway, so I asked him, I just asked him to send me a couple of designs for like cool tattoos. He's like, well, what do you want? I was like, well, I was in London. I'm young. He's like, I want definitely something to remember this trip. I want the ultimate souvenir. So I'm like, I wanted something either London related, or I just wanted something that I've wanted for a long time. So like I just sent him a bunch of ideas. And then he just sent me a bunch of stuff back. So this is a hummingbird perched on a branch, and then that's the Union Jack on its chest. So the Union Jack obviously is the flag of England, which is London. So that's the connection. And then the hummingbird is because I just think birds are the coolest.
They are pretty neat.
I'm a big fan of the birds. I'm a big Birdman kind of guy. Michael Keaton. Yeah, the movie. Anyway.
Yeah, I got
that.
You got I picked up on that subtle hint you dropped.
Yeah, so we were early in the day. We were just like walking through London, going towards wherever we were going towards, and we passed by this like little tattoo shop, and I just saw it, and I'm just like, man, this isn't gonna happen. There's a tattoo shop right there, and I'm not even gonna be able to utilize it. And then because like we had a full schedule that night, and then so I just didn't think of at that time that it was gonna work out, and then it turns out one of those plans fell through. later at that night, and then it was just like, well, is there even a tattoo shop open right now? And I was just like, I don't know if it's open, but I know where one's at. So I just quickly checked the time, and they were like, they didn't have a posted time, but like, you know, we just kind of took a leap of faith, and we walked back there to West One Tattoo is where it was at. I still have their business card in my wallet.
I have a business card from my tattoo parlor as well.
Yeah, West One Tattoo.
Yours is a little more special.
Yeah, mine is a little bit more special. This was also a souvenir that's not permanently attached to me. His little card, and so we just asked the guy, you know, how late are you open? He's just like, oh, you know, probably another hour or so. And we're just like, you have time to do some tattoos? And he's like, oh yeah, for sure, dude, like no problem. He was super cool. He was Australian, actually.
Fancy that.
Yeah, an Australian living in London. I'm just like, this is the greatest ever. But no, he was super cool. You know, he was making sure that it was exactly what I wanted when I wanted it. And he actually like redrew the hummingbird from hand, because like there was a couple of things that we decided that we didn't want to do. So we decided that like from this picture, we decided we wanted the beak to curve a little bit more, because that's what hummingbirds do. We decided we wanted to get like kind of rid of the feather plume.
You know what you should have done? Gotten one of the hummingbirds that has the super elongated beak.
Oh yeah.
And just got like a 4-inch beak off of that.
Dude, it should just like, it's on my back. All right, but it should have gone like across my shoulder blades, all the way down my arm, and then just straight
to the tip of your pinky.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just the beak. But and so the final product ended up looking like this, and I could not love it more. You know, he just right in front of me, free-handed drawing this hummingbird, redrawing this hummingbird, and you know, made these changes, and I was just like like my mind was blown that like, you know, he was just doing this. And then, you know, he looked at references and everything like that, but then when he started applying it to my skin, like all the details of the branches weren't in his original stencil. He free-handed every detail in those branches, and I just like, again, mind blown that it was just insanely cool like that. And then, you know, it was kind of this tattoo that inspired me that what I want to do for future, because this is just on my right hand shoulder blade.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to keep traveling the world and just keep on finding these cool little tattoo places, and I wanted to fill my back with birds with flags on them. So here's a picture. That's the guy who gave me my tattoo. We called him the Australian.
Okay.
He has a real name. You know, if you want to look up West One Tattoo, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're in London, if that's your thing. So I wanted just to keep traveling the world, and then, you know, put birds on my back with the flag of the country, like on the chest of the bird. So what I was hoping to do is on my left shoulder is eventually go to Brazil.
Okay.
And get a Brazilian toucan is what I'm gonna call it. It's just, you know, the toucan, but then, you know, his chest would just be the Brazilian flag, because I think that'd be kind of like colorful enough to work.
Yeah. And
then like working down on either side, like kind of under those, closer towards, you know, the back of my ribs, that area, I wanted two, probably either finches or two sparrows kind of flying. Don't know what country. I'll figure that out later. And then, you know, just various birds here and there throughout, just from different countries. Like, you know, finches, blue jays, parrots, cardinals, you know, just different countries, different birds. They don't even need to be related, because, like, you know, hummingbird, London, doesn't really correlate.
Are you going to get one for the American flag as well?
Oh, I'd probably get an eagle eventually, but I was thinking about actually getting the eagle across my chest.
And have the flag be over your heart?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course you would.
It's because, like, the back is for my away games, if you will.
The front's for the home turf.
Home team, baby.
You could do the front all 50 states.
Oh, that'd be cool. And then I could just color them in as I go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that tattoo before. Yeah, but I mean, it's a cool idea, though. I would love to do that. So not only would I want to fill my back with birds around the world, a couple of other designs that I want to do. I kind of want to eventually get sleeves, but, I don't even know what. So a couple of things I do want. I do want some type of, like, floral print, because I'm also a pretty big flower guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flowers are cool, in case you didn't know. Okay. And then a pirate ship of some sort. And then the Iron Giant, near and dear to my heart. It's my favorite movie of all time, which is saying something because I watch a lot of movies.
Yes, you do. You watch a lot.
There's a lot of good movies out there, but the fact that the Iron Giant, I don't know, it was given to me at a young age, and then, it was just something that I watched throughout my entire childhood. So, I don't know. It's just, it's a movie. We all kind of have our own movies that we go to for any situation. It's like, happy movie, you watch this, or a happy time, you watch this movie. You're in a sad time, you watch this movie. You're in a awkward state of you don't know who you are, let's watch this movie. Also, I'm a big comic book fan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I know. I know that.
So I was hoping, I can't decide where I want the placement of it, but I want the Spider-Man logo.
Do you want that particular Spider-Man, or do you want, like, what iteration of the Spider-Man logo do you want?
I don't know. I think this one's probably the best one to go with.
Something a bit more old school with a rounder body spider?
Yeah, for sure. I think, like, sticking more accurate to comics than anything else is probably the ones that I'd go to. I'd also eventually like to get just a lot of symbols that usually the heroes wear on their chest, like those symbols. Not necessarily on my chest, but, like, just the traditional symbols when you think of a superhero. I just like to get those somewhere. Like, I think having just, like, I don't know. I don't even know how to articulate it. It's like, superheroes are cool.
Put them on your body.
Correct. And then I have a couple other ones that I'm just not going to tell because, they're kind of like a little bit more for me. They're a little bit more like of the goofy ones.
All right. Like the
Yeah. Yeah, it's the exact one that you're thinking of. We got to leave a little mystery. I'm going to keep that for myself. And then I have another one in mind that probably won't happen just because
they're better in theory than in practicality.
Than in practice. But this bee in the corner on the right-hand side, that's another design by Bailey. That's also for when I was in London because, bees are pretty cool too.
Yeah, and they're all dying.
That's true. Save the bees. Seriously.
Save the bees, please.
And also, like, for the longest time, I think it was probably about my freshman to sophomore year, I'm just, like, people were like, what are you going to do after you graduate? And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm probably just going to be a beekeeper. And, like, I just, like, kind of had a fascination with bees throughout the rest of high school. And it's like, bees are just cool. So yeah, and then when it's kind of also a little inside joke because if I would have gotten this bee in London, it still would have worked because London, as we know, is not the birthplace of Shakespeare, but it is where Shakespeare's theater, the Globe Theater, resides.
Yeah.
And do you know a famous Shakespeare quote off the top of your head?
Like just any famous Shakespeare quote?
Just probably the most famous one that you can think of.
Okay, I don't want to say the wrong one because you definitely have one in mind.
Well,
and I'm going to say the wrong one.
Well, I'm just thinking to be
or not to be.
Or not to be.
Should have put 2 and 2 together there.
You should have put 2 B's or not 2 B's together.
Be quiet.
So that was just kind of like, I didn't really think of it. I'm just like, yeah, bees are cool. Bees are cool. And then, Bailey was the one who was just like, and it works out because Shakespeare was a hack. And I'm just like, so I stand by it. Bailey is like my #1 artist guy. If there's ever a concept that, I'm ever thinking about, he's usually the first person I talk about to it. And he just helps me refine my idea and actually kind of helps me visualize it in some way.
You see, I do the much harder way.
Yeah.
Where I question my own brain, which is not very artistic.
Yeah.
And I just mash ideas together until something gets forced out of the mess.
It's like, it's just like when you kind of like shove 2 puzzle pieces together and you're just like, yeah, that fits. And it's just like, it doesn't line up, but it fits. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, that's just basically my stuff about the tattoos. Those are the ones I have. I have like a lot of just formulated stuff. There's a couple of more personal tattoos that I'm been considering that I'm just not really going to talk about because it's personal for a reason.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that's my tattoos and my hopefully soon to be tattoos. So I'll pass it over because I've been talking for a while. Let me check our battery real quick too because we kind of ran into an issue.
Yeah, we do not want to have that same problem.
All right, we're at 52.
52. We're still doing great.
We're still doing great.
Still
All right,
doing
I'm going to hand it over to you.
Great. All right. Dude.
There you go.
All right, so this one on screen here is the first tattoo that I got. It is a full watercolor tree with 2 bands around it. It's hard to see the watercolor because this is right after I got it, so it's a little red and inflamed, but the colors did sort of fade out to make it look more watercolor-like. Now, the reason I got this is for my first tattoo, I knew 2 things. I wanted to go big, and I wanted it to be as colorful as can be.
Yeah.
And from there, I was going to design and put meaning to it.
There you go.
What led me to the tree is I really like what trees can represent.
Sure.
Just like the tree of life, for example, and family trees is the 2 main ones that I went with.
Okay.
I just smashed those 2 together.
Tattoos can have multiple meanings.
Of course. And so what originally this tree meant to me was the vibrant, beautiful colors meant, they were a reminder it was to live a beautiful and extravagant life.
Sure.
To just go out there and do what you want to do, what makes you happy.
Yeah.
Fill your life with color.
I got you.
And then on the flip side, on the family end, the many branches and the many colors represent the many number of family members that I have. Although most of the time we want to punch each other or push each other down the stairs or scream until my mom wants to ship us all off to a different country.
Sure.
We do love each other. And with this, I am able to keep them all with me. And so this tree is my tree of life and my family tree.
All in one.
All in one.
It looks like it's an oak. Maybe a maple.
It's
a little out of season.
I'm not sure about that. The original piece that I got the idea from was a large back watercolor piece that I found on Pinterest, actually. And I took that into my tattoo artist, who was Mark Wasco at the Electric Crayon, which, wonderful artist.
Sure.
He is extremely talented. I highly recommend that if you want to get a tattoo done around this particular area of South Dakota, to definitely go there, check him out, check out his work. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, so I brought in the picture of this tree and another set of trees that I was looking at. And what I did was I combined aspects from both of them. See, the watercolor tree originally, it was more light colors like pinks and light greens, light yellows. And I wanted it to be more vibrant, to stand out more. And so what we did was we changed up the branches to make it look thicker. We put in a few darker colors, gave it a darker trunk and branch design, and then added more blues, as blue is my personal favorite color.
Well, there you go.
And then what we did was we took the double band design from the other set of tattoos that I brought in, and I used those bands to represent, binding the tree to me. Like, this is my tree. This is a part of me now.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a question. Do you find the tattoo as inspiration as well as a statement of enjoy life and other stuff? Yes, it is definitely an inspiration to me, which is one of the reasons I'm so happy that I got it. Anytime I see it, it just fills me with the feeling that I gave it.
Yeah, I mean, you spent a lot of time on it, obviously, and a lot of time thinking about it.
I think I started thinking about what kind of tattoo I wanted when I was 14.
Right.
And so over the 2 years...
We all do. We all just,
of course.
Like, it's just like you get 14, you're just like...
Hey, maybe someone should draw on my skin.
It's like, yo, I'm a rebel. Rebels get tattoos. Let's get inked up.
Yeah, that was the thought process for sure. But no, I spent a lot of time, went through a ton of ideas, scrapped a lot of them, and I put a ton of meaning into this particular tree. Now, my next tattoo, I wanted to stick with the theme.
Sure.
And my mom, a while ago, came up with the idea of having all of us who have tattoos, which is her, my older brother, and myself, to get birds. And so my mom was going to get a small bird placed somewhere. My older brother was going to have a small one placed in his sleeve. And they wanted me to put a small one in the tree.
Sure.
And I went behind their backs, and while I was off at college, went and got these. I found out each of their favorite colors and got a bird in their favorite color with their initials.
Yeah.
And so I got my mom, dad, older brother, younger brother, and 2 other younger brothers and 2 younger sisters. I left out my...
Big family.
Yeah. And that's excluding a ton of step siblings.
Yeah.
And I didn't exclude them because they're not important to me. I do love them and they are my family. But I wanted to stick to...
a family tree.
Yeah. The strictly what my base family was.
Sure.
And, who knows? Maybe if the step family sticks around long enough, I'll throw birds on for
it's
them
like,
as
look,
well.
you got room.
Yeah.
Like, okay, can I just point something out really super quick? Just like looking at this tattoo, like you can actually see your tree like started to fade.
Oh, no. This isn't fading. It's whitewashed to give it a watercolor look. And so the fresh birds, they're so bright still that they stand out harshly against the watercolor of the tree. If I had a more recent picture, they would you'd see that they match a lot better than they did. It looks like we got another question. Would you ever consider getting an anaglyph tattoo? I think that tree would really pop out of your arm and would have the same colors.
Excuse me while I look up what anaglyph means.
I have no idea what that is.
It's probably really cool though.
Of course it's probably really cool.
Anaglyphs just sounds cool. All right.
Oh wow.
Okay, so you obviously can't see what I just looked up because I looked it up on my phone.
Yeah, we don't
so
have
essentially,
FaceTime yet.
yeah. So and we don't have like good technical production. So essentially, what I'm getting from an anaglyph, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like we're kind of getting a 3D effect from things, as in we have just a blue and a red of the same like photo, same subject, just kind of overlapping on each other, kind of giving that 3D anaglyph. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I like the 3D effect. All right. Perfect.
All right. I'd consider it.
Yeah.
I think that would look really cool. Actually, if you look at Mark Wasco, his page on the Electrocurrent website, he actually has done a few of those, and you can see his versions. But as of right now, the double shoulder theme I'm going to explain. It's not currently in my plans. I do appreciate you asking, though. I had actually never considered that, and that's a really cool idea.
It is actually pretty cool.
Now, maybe not the next thing I'm going to do, but something I'm definitely considering in the future is I want to sort of cover up some of the empty space around the birds.
Yeah.
And so I want to connect each of the birds with some sort of vine.
Okay.
I really do like ivy vine. I think the leaves look really cool, and the way it winds is very beautiful.
Which we're looking at here.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, this is a fake. This is
right,
drawn by someone.
Yeah, this is just like a clip art, but I was just making sure that this is...
Yes. So I would love to get these connecting each of the individual birds. After that, or before that, like I said, I'm not sure upon which order I'm going to do this. I want to start on my next shoulder. So this is all on my right shoulder.
Right.
Which the theme of my right shoulder is colors.
Yeah.
Family.
Yep.
And life.
Right.
What I want to have on my left shoulder.
Ooh, can I take a guess?
Sure.
Is it not those things?
It is indeed not those things. But no, my left shoulder, I want it to be aspects of just me, not my life or my family. I want my left side to be things that I find interesting or that apply to me as just myself. So the first thing that I know I want to do, I want to get some sort of crest as the base, just like my tree is the base of my right shoulder. Mm-hmm. And I'm not entirely sure what crest I want to get.
Yeah.
This crest is my fraternity crest, which is incredibly important to me. I would not be doing well in college if it weren't for this fraternity or the guys that are in that. It is a wonderful brotherhood, and they mean the world to me. And so I would love to get this as the base for that side.
Sure.
But I'm still, it's one of those things where you really got to be careful what you get, because you don't want to start the base of a whole shoulder piece with something that you don't really like.
Sure. Because
it'll ruin the whole thing.
Right, or if it's something you're unsure of.
Yeah, that's something that could change in the future.
Right.
Yeah, but no, I'm feeling really good about this. I think it'll look really cool as the base for that.
Okay.
After that, for the chest, I am not sure. I have no idea what I want on the chest for this side. I have been giving it a ton of thought, and I just can't think of what I want on my left chest. Now, on my back, on my left shoulder blade, I know exactly what. I've wanted this for a long time. I want a skeletal hand reaching out from under my arm around the back, pretty much in that same position, just grasping, and I want a carbon atom floating above this.
Ooh. So like the one that we see here
is pretty darn close.
Okay.
The carbon atom a little farther off than exactly how I want it designed. Sure. Now I know that is not accurate. We are no longer on that style of atomic design. We're on the We are on the electron cloud model now.
Yes.
But electron clouds don't look cool. I think that looks cool. And
it does. That's kind of like a traditional atom look, if you will. Like, this is what we're more accustomed to seeing for atoms, even if it's not accurate.
Yeah. So the reasoning behind that is, for the skeletal hand, I've wanted to be a radiologist since I broke my arm the first time at the age of 4 or 5.
Sure.
And
you want to explain what radiology is real quick?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, a radiologist is someone who interprets X-rays or just any imaging technology that uses X-rays. And they will receive the information that was taken and will interpret it, let them write down everything that's wrong with that, like why does it not look like it should.
Right,
and then,
whether if it's the bone isn't connected.
Exactly, and then they'll boot that back off to the hospital.
Okay.
And so how this applies is I've broken my left arm 3 times.
Okay.
And every time I got to do that, they let me see my X-rays. They actually let me keep a couple of them.
Ooh.
And it just fascinated me beyond belief.
Souvenir.
Exactly. Like the broken arm wasn't enough of a reminder. They got to let me keep pictures of my mistakes.
Sure.
But no, bones fascinate me. I think.
Yeah, bones are cool.
Yeah, bones are cool. And I'm not sure if that's still the career path I'm going to go to, but I know something that will always be true is I will always be fascinated with bone structure.
Okay.
Now the carbon atom. This one is a little bit more important to me. We are carbon-based life forms. Carbon is the basis for all life.
Right.
And it is a singular atom. The smallest building block, or so they say, you get further on and there's smaller pieces and smaller pieces. Yeah, but ignoring all of that, this one tiny, insignificant speck makes up all life. Without this, we would be nothing. We would have nothing. Yeah. It is crucial for everything that we are and everything that we will be. And that blows my mind. Like, just thinking about how crucial this one tiny piece of this vast puzzle that makes up the universe would be so important to us. Just imagine how important one person can be, or how important one act can be. Just one small thing can be instrumental for everything else. And so that has a ton of meaning behind it for me. Yeah. And I think it is a beautiful thing, and definitely would never, ever, ever be something that I would want to change.
Right. Very profound. It's like you can very obviously tell that you put a lot of thought into this.
A ton of thought.
Yeah.
A ton of thought into that. Now, even though I don't know what would go on my chest, I do want to sort of follow the theme of what's important to me, of course. But like the vines on my right side, I want to fill up the empty space with...
I think you want to take a notice to this little comment that we just got.
Okay.
I'll read it. It says, that carbon and life thing is what I was waiting for. I also love the idea of the dead skeletal hand reaching for the smallest bit of life.
Thank you. Thank you for putting two and two together. I didn't mention that, the connection between the two.
Yes.
I'm very glad that you saw that.
You did that intentionally. You wanted the listeners to find out for themselves.
They had to put the puzzle together themselves.
Yes.
But no, thank you for catching up on that. I should have brought that up.
No, it's better that way.
It's better that way.
It's better this way. It was intentional. All right, continue.
Now, back to what I was talking about. I want to fill the empty space with these.
Yeah.
Molecules of just important parts of the body.
Right.
I'm not sure what exactly I do want, if I just want a bunch of them or if I just want to like make up fake ones. Well, I just like the geometry.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It looks cool. I feel like it would be a beautiful line work to interconnect all of them. And so I don't know if I want to go like specifically with certain ones.
Right.
Or if I just want to like steal the design and sort of piece them together, just shove the puzzle pieces where I think would look cool.
I mean, they almost fit like puzzle pieces.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
That's why I think they just connect beautifully to create like a web almost.
Yeah, I'm going to steal this idea.
No.
Yeah.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, no, I will.
No, you better not.
You better not! I'm going to make an appointment right now! Don't you dare! I'm dialing!
Yeah, no, that's the extent of what I have planned so far for just the shoulders. Now, what I want to do, since my left side is black and white, well, just all in black ink. Sure. I provide the white. And then the colors on my right side,
okay,
I want them to meet in the middle of my back with a yin-yang symbol.
Ooh.
And I find that to be important because everything in life comes with balance.
Yeah.
But the special thing about this is I want to design this myself. Like, I don't want to have help with an artist. I want this to be something that I personally put together.
Okay.
And what I want it to be, I want half of it to be an intricate design of colors, and the other half to be an intricate line work. And I want the color half of the yin-yang symbol to face my black and white shoulder, and I want the black and white side to face my color shoulder. So not only does the symbol represent balance, but it also brings balance to the two halves of my tattoo piece.
I see. Kind of bringing that. Okay. Yeah.
It really connects all of it together.
I see. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool.
So yeah, that's
Is that our show?
No,
Not quite.
I don't think so. In the future,
Yes.
in the deep, deep future,
Yeah.
depending on where my career goes,
Sure.
I would like to get a sleeve.
Same.
I turn my left arm into a sleeve piece.
Yeah.
So,
All right. So well, then here's the thing with sleeves. Do you want it many pieces together, or do you just want it to be?
it would be one
full piece?
cohesive piece.
Okay.
And, but then again, maybe just get a bunch of pieces and find ways to connect them like I did with my
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah.
But what I would prefer is to get one cohesive piece on my left arm.
For sure.
Yeah, no, that's all of my plans that I have as far as tattoos go.
And obviously, this is gonna change.
Oh.
Plans change.
Well,
There's a
not my
couple of things.
Not my
there's-
shoulder piece. That'll
Yeah,
stay.
there's a couple of things that, like, for sure, it's just like, yeah, we'll get it eventually. Whether the idea alters a little bit, that's whatever. But, we're going to come up with new ideas. We're going to come up with altered ideas.
The important thing is whatever we do come up with, it's going to be important to us.
Yeah. Even if it is a really goofy tattoo.
Of course there's going to be goofy ones.
But
not as goofy as getting Adventure Time tattoos with certain friends. Thank you, mister, in the comments.
Even the goofy tattoos can have meaning, because I have a goofy tattoo. I have a super goofy tattoo.
Incredibly. It is terrible.
Yeah, but I'm not going to reveal it because it's a big surprise.
We'll show you a picture if he gets it.
If I do.
It'll go on the Instagram.
But it does actually do hold a meaning to me, because, like, it's kind of a reminder of me to just, stay goofy, be creative, be silly,
Yeah, a lot like my tree.
Life is so incredibly crazy and short and fast to take things seriously all the time. So, it's just whether or not a tattoo has a meaning or if it reminds you or what, regardless of what people say, each tattoo does have a meaning behind it.
Of course. Even if that meaning is, I thought it looked dope.
Yeah,
If that's enough meaning for you, awesome. Be you. Get what you want.
I kind of want to get a shark above my ankle just because, I just think sharks are cool in general.
Sharks are freaking cool.
But like, past that, it's just like, oh, did you like have something with get a goofy tattoo? Gorsh.
Gorsh.
As much as I love the Disney character of Goofy, that's not quite what I have in mind.
But who knows?
Who knows?
Gorsh.
Gorsh, you'll just have to find out. Well, what has that been? A little bit, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to time. 53 minutes. It's been about an hour. Should we wrap it up, you think?
I think we've got to a good spot where we can wind down. How about we find out where it's 2 o'clock now?
Yes, it's been, definitely the hour has changed. So let's go to our trusty time zone map. We started in the Solomon Islands, so we have to keep moving backwards. All right. Most everywhere in Australia is 2 o'clock right now.
All right, ending in Australia.
Ending in
We've
Australia.
ended in New Zealand. I don't think we've ended in Australia before.
Yeah, I looked at a different part of the map. Usually I stick over here in the ocean between America and Africa, but I decided to come over here and check it out this time. So yeah, we're ending in Australia tonight.
Wonderful.
That's where it's 2 o'clock.
Because it's clearly not 2 o'clock here.
Yeah, but you know what? It's
What?
2 o'clock somewhere.
Of course.